Charlie, what is this matchup?
6-7.
I mean, it is so familiar. What do you think it does to both camps, the fact that they've drawn each other again? Seriously, you've both been players. How would you feel if you're in either of those dressing rooms?
Confident, nervous. Why always us? You know, all of these different questions that go. I think for Man City, this is it's a better draw than it is for Real Madrid at this moment in time. I think City will feel that they're on a good run. They're coming together. Also, they've got that scar from last year of knowing that Real Madrid knocked them out.
Comfortably.
Comfortably, yeah. I just feel that Man City will feel that last year was a blip, and they get that opportunity now to recreate all of those moments, but put it with a different ending.
Yeah, both sides are unpredictable. Defensively, Real Madrid have looked shaky as ever. You got a young manager with no real experience. Then you look at Pep Guardiola's side. Have they reinvested enough? You know, do they have enough going forward? I just always look at these two sides, and it feels like they're both caught in the middle of what they can be in terms of fulfilling the potential. You know, still, Kylian Mbappe is as great as he is. I don't know if we're seeing the absolute best between him and Vinny Jr. We haven't seen them really take that next step as a pair. And you throw in Jude Bellingham, who's had a year of struggling. So
we don't know about Mbappe's availability for the tie. For Jude, unlikely to be fit as well. So how much does that, if you already favour Manchester City, the absence definitely of Jude, potentially Jude Bellingham as well, how much does that tip it further into City's favour?
I think it tips it more, when you look at what the managers say, right? Pep Guardiola is very much his style, his team philosophy. This is what we're going to do. Arbeloa has come out and said, the players run it. I let them give as much freedom as they want, because Xabi Alonso on the opposite end was obviously regimented, do this, do that. I just wonder, when it goes a little bit ropey, a little bit wrong, who's the players to pull it together and fix it? It seems to me whenever we see it in the league so far, whenever they're losing, they just lose. It's just because unless Vinny can get you out of it, unless Mbappe can get you out of it, it's just an individual. And that, to me, is a completely different team to Man City last year.
But that's where they fall back on. We've won it 15 times.
100%.
This is Real Madrid.
Once that noise comes on, it's different, right? I get that.
Aaron West was funny yesterday. He said, everything tells me that I should not back Real Madrid to win the Champions League. But I'm not going to say they're not going to win it, because they just defy common sense and logic. Their whole approach, the way it's run by the players, not by the manager, yet they do it time after time, so you can never rule them out.
But on the flip side, that you just said there about Man City reinvesting. When we talk about this Arsenal team, we talk about a great, structured team, defensively solid. 4 goals difference defensively let in this season in the Premier League. Exactly the same goals, 56 each. 21 goals for Arsenal, 25 let in for Man City. So considering they're going on this bad run, I think this man, Mark Guiu being there, Diaz now coming in, it just adds it differently. But I think this is the main bit. And then this is the one that no one's talking about, for me, which is crazy. This young man here.
Amazing.
When you put him next to Rodri and Silva, these are obviously technical geniuses, but the energy, the pace, the power, and also the tactical ability that he has adds differently. When I look at this team, again, you can go Shirky, you can put Foden in there, you can put Doku in there, obviously Semenyo and Haaland. But when you start to look at this team on the left-hand side, it's basically Mbappe, it's basically Vinny. That'll normally flip to a 4-4-2, because these guys don't offer you much without the ball, which is a fair comment. And then it's, can these guys keep a clean sheet? And I don't think they can. They've got one of the best goalkeepers in world football, if not the best. But the rest is a little bit, I'm not sure.
Charlie, you make a case for Real Madrid.
The only case I could make for Real Madrid is if they were, and this is where you're questioning Alvaro Arbeloa as a manager. Given that the structure is not like Manchester City or Arsenal, they would have to defend and play without the ball and say, you know what? Our strength is going to be Mbappe and Vinny on the counter. Let our individuals win us this matchup. That's how I see them progressing. If they want to keep the ball and be exposed and give Haaland space to run in behind, I think that's where we're going to see Real Madrid struggle.
I like these two. I like the platform they give. He's quietly coming into his own. And that, I'm not saying he's Tony Kroos, but that cross-field pass as well. I think the other question is, the most recent point of reference is the 6-3 last season. How much better are they than last season, and how much better are they? And I think you'd have to say stagnant, much improved.
Just from the January transfer window.
Yes.
We're talking about a team that, without Mark Guehi, they would have been in trouble. But now you're saying Guehi and Semenyo to really change the dynamic of how this group plays and gives them options. Because if you have a Doku coming off the bench or a Phil Foden coming off the bench who are hungry, who are pissed off, that makes them that much more dangerous.
What about home leg first? Is that a big disadvantage?
Yeah, it was the last year it was the other way around, wasn't it? Man City were the home leg. I also think just one person we're missing, my favourite footballer to watch in the modern game, Ryan Shirky, in moments like this, where you can say, right, it's going to be tight, we need someone to do a little bit of magic, just give him the ball, he'll make 4 or 5 mistakes, but when he gets it right, wow, you just sit there and go, how did he do that? I think this does play a big, gives Man City the advantage. I do think going to the Bernabeu first game, you're like, okay, as long as we control the crowd. Because remember, it's not only a few weeks ago, the crowd were whistling, they were doing the white flags, they were going at Vinicius Jr. The unsavoury incidents that happened at Benfica has kind of brought them all together. But that's very fragile. Go 1 goal behind, that could all change very, very quickly.
I mean, what I love about this has got the feel of a massive Champions League tie, hasn't it? This has got glamour, big. Now, this is what Champions League is all about.
Absolutely.
At this stage, it's a phenomenal matchup because typically we might be saying, hey, this is a Champions League final level type of squads for both. But hey, I'm happy. I just want to see a healthy Mbappe on the pitch. So
I was just about to say, we answered so many questions. Can we just give me that team back really, really quick? Sorry, guys, I know we've got to go to break. But we now get to go, who's the best goalkeeper in world football?
Yeah.
Who's the best strikers in world football? There's so many questions that get answered. See? Is it Donnarumma? Is it Courtois? Is it Mbappe? Is it Haaland? You start to look through this. Who's the best holding midfielder? Is it one of the young guys or is it Rodri? You start to ask all these questions that can start to get answered. It feels like every year now we get this game. The Madrid City. Obviously,
it is every year.
It just feels different this year, though. Neither team are the teams that we're used to seeing, shall we say. Madrid feel a little bit inconsistent. They feel like it's Vinicius or Mbappe that's going to get them out of the mud. And City feel like they've got all the momentum now, but still have that little fragility there that we're not sure why it's not as clicking as well as it used to. How do you see that one go, mate?
Obviously, they have already met this season in the Champions League at the Bernabeu, and City won 2-1 in a decent performance from City. It was a game that Real Madrid could maybe have got a draw out of, one of their better performances under Xavi Alonso in Europe. I think that Manchester City are clear favourites if we look at it from footballing terms, but Real Madrid have shown, particularly against City, that even when they are sort of tangibly a worse team than City, they can go through. Like, they've done it to City consistently over the last few years. Remember 2022, Rodrigo scores twice in injury time to send the game to extra time, and Real Madrid go out and win. You remember that ridiculous quarterfinal in 2024 at the Etihad, where City had 33 shots on target. It's 33 shots. It somehow finished 1-1. It went to penalties. Lunin starts saving penalties, and they make it through. So I remember watching that game in Madrid, and it was a quarterfinal, remember? And I don't think I've ever seen Real Madrid fans celebrate in a way that they celebrated that quarterfinal, because they knew they were massively inferior to City, and they still somehow found a way to get past them. Obviously, they knocked them out of the competition last season as well. So I think City are a better team. I think City should be able to get past Real Madrid, but mentally, Real Madrid have got something over this side, and they've shown that. So sometimes, and I don't want to boil it down to the analysis of, lads, it's Real Madrid, it's the Champions League, but sometimes, lads, it's Real Madrid in the Champions League, things can happen. That shouldn't really happen, logic-wise.
Quick update on Bellingham and Mbappe. When do you expect to see both back?
Mbappe, we don't know. We thought he was going to play in the Champions League. In fact, Alvaro Arbeloa said the day before, yeah, he's fit to play. And then he trained and he didn't even make the matchday squad. And then he's saying, yeah, hopefully it's days, or if it's not days, hopefully it's just a few weeks. So I think it might be touch and go for him to be fully fit for this tie against City, and Bellingham the same. Bellingham similar. And, Real Madrid are missing key players. They've got Eder Militao out as well. Rodrigo's been out injured as well. Dean Howson's currently injured. There are quite a few players missing for Real Madrid. None more important than Kylian Mbappe. And I think it is going to be touch and go for him to be fully fit for this game in a couple of weeks.
Phil, do you see a Spanish side winning the Champions League this year? Because Charlie and Geoff have given a bracket and they haven't even got a Spanish side in the final.
Yeah, I think definitely there's one side is more straightforward than the other, isn't it, in terms of the draw, and Barcelona will be feeling, if to get to a Champions League final, we have to beat Newcastle and then either Atleti or Spurs and then either Arsenal, Leverkusen, Sporting or Bodo Glimt. That seems like a relatively decent run for Barcelona to get to the final. If it goes to logic, we're potentially looking at a Barca-Arsenal semi-final. And I think of the three teams left, Barcelona have got the best chance. But it would be difficult this year to see a Spanish side winning. I think.
Even against Arsenal.
There are a couple of teams.
Phil, be honest. As an Englishman, how proud are you to say you think there will be a winner from North London this year?
Do you know what? I feel sorry for Phil. He's come on to talk about La Liga, and you're bullying him about Tottenham.
Answer the question.
No,
I would be just monumentally. I will be monumentally proud when Spurs win the Champions League.
yes, Phil, that's what I wanted to hear.
What price have you got, Phil? I know you like to have a bet. Spurs win the Champions League and get relegated. What price have you got?
Wouldn't that be the most Spursy thing? I mean, that would be it. Just close
Is that the
definition of Spursy at that.